Welcome out as swine is fine, thicker is quicker, and guess what? We had some great smoked meats courtesy of my guest host, and we'll get into that a little bit as Orlando is ready to be scored. This is Formula Drift, round 3 of 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Within that, we have Prospect, but this is all killer, no filler. This is all pro here at Formula Drift. We branded this Scorch. Coming to us from Atlanta, James Dean will lead over Austin. It does Mata, because it's Austin Mata. Here we go, that AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5FD. I'm sure the boss man is watching at home, talking about Von Kitten Jr. Boom, clutch kicks into the ball. That's what I was talking about. Look at that thing, absolutely on rails, like a magnet to that green wall. Into the power alley, inside clip 1, transitioning inside clip 2, bang, right on it. You can see that front tire going into the box. Austin Mata swings wide, and look at James Dean, gets right into the crease, lick the stamp, and send it. Boom, sign, seal, deliver, COD, cash on delivery, cash on James Dean. This is not one of them. Not one of them. But Austin Mata will now, he's going to try to force an error of James Dean. Austin, like I said, this is a big ask going against the 4-time champion of James Dean. And look at James, I'm sure his spotter said, hey, Austin made a major mistake in that chase position. Austin needs to put down a heater of a run. James Dean navigates a right-hand drive. We talked about the benefit of that. Jacob, I'll let you elaborate on that. We talked about it with the red nickel even right there.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for Austin, a great lead run by Austin Mata. Look,
it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be just a good, clean battle. So Steely Dean. I know earlier today you want to talk to judges. How am I doing? You know, kind of wants to get a little health check, right? A wellness check. But right now here, again, fairly equally matched. You can see the angle there. As twitchy as it is, RCP puts it in the right spot, almost goes camo into that green wall, into that power alley. Here comes Trenton Beecham. Good placement of that car. I like that. He backed it off. Maybe wasn't too aggressive, giving himself some room, because that chase position is a very hard position to be in.
Which you want all 3. But in the case of worst case, which 2 do you pick?
Good, fast, cheap. You can only have 2.
Yeah.
All right, so line, angle, and style. Here we go. So Trent Beecham out front. And out of the gate, looks like RCP. Good angle from Trent Beecham out front. I got to say, a little more locked and loaded from Beecham out front. But look at that. You talk about the proximity. RCP, he might be blowing off that front bumper, but he has definitely some aggressiveness. Look at Beecham. Comes out of it, comes unwound, but then goes back into it. So quick little correction. Here we go. RCP, Trenton Beecham. Boom. RCP gets the advancement here.
Driving I've seen from him in practice this weekend.
There we go. Matt Field, a lot of eyeballs on him. He definitely has the making of to be a champion. And there we go. Rat Dan says, here you go. I'll show you what I could do. Like you said, he rose to the occasion. Here goes Matt Field in that power alley. Good placement. Minimal corrections. Those white wheels sticking out like a sore thumb. And Dan absolutely bulldozes into the side of the Corvette. Sheds that. He has a disadvantage here going, but he does have the clean air. We saw some aggressive driving. And how well repaired is Matt Field's vehicle with that back left corner? As he said, Taco, use the 10 minutes. Is it enough? Here we go. Dan Burkett. He barely just taps that outside zone, that last indicator cone. Coming to that second inside clip through that power alley. Here goes Dan Burkett in that second outside zone. Dan Burkett comes into that second outside zone, brings it on through. Pro should not be top 16. It needs to be 32.
Right.
100%.
Same.
Here we go. Adam LZ, arguably one of the most popular drivers in the Formula Drift field, and that Drift HQ BMW TLO. He put down some heater buy runs last night, but when push comes to shove, can he put down a competition run? Oh, Adam LZ exceeds that line on that outside zone. Oh, he is dabbling all over the track right now. The car seems pretty loose, but then dials it in with that BC Racing suspension now. Barely see it through the smoke. Conditions, it is dry. We, again, knock on wood as far as rain, but again, Tommy Lemaire, he's had some initiates, falls down, works his way back up, and that is hard to follow. So to Adam LZ's credit, you saw him work it down up the net vodka on the roof, excuse me. Now coming into that second inside clip, into that second outside zone, Tommy Lemaire, he does exceed it just actually about a tire distance.
Yeah.
So. But let's take a look. 1 and a 2, and Adam LZ. Oh, one more time there. But the Castro-James Dean battle, roll the tape, look at formula.com. Here we go. Jonathan Castro, Ryan Littoral. Always a good time. Here we go. Castro puts it in. Ryan Littoral, you see him, good proximity, really good proximity from that RB Army flag. The Sunoco, great looking car, 909, transitions into that power alley. Castro does escape that second inside clip. Just, a big correction there from Ryan Littoral. Comes unwound. Castro keeps it in that second outside zone.
It's not like that's completely washed out, so there's still a chance here.
Here we go, Ryan Littoral out front. You can hear him firing on all cylinders into that. So this looks very similar to what we saw, but Littoral dragging bumper, shedding a skin into that power alley, and this is where that smoke signal gets tough. Looks like Castro aggressive on the line on that second inside clip, big angle, almost like just shifting literally positions and kind of those flaws. Yep, here we go, Castro or Littoral, and there it is, Castro. All right, here we go, Mr. Cool. Where can we get that big fan right now? Jonathan Hurst, Mr. Cool, in that Cadillac, and Ken Gucci, the OG, that Ready Toyota GR86, high on the bank. And look at Jonathan Hurst, works his way up top, cash money on the taillights, cash money in the hand. Past that inside clip, through that power alley. Good job by Gucci, good angle. Hurst does knock it over, loses some ground. I'll tell you what, Gucci is possessed. Look at that lock, dialed. Minimal corrections, if any at all. We have branded it that as opposed to decel, so momentum where it shifts. It's not so much about decelling, because that kind of scares me about stopping. So here we go. Jonathan Hurst initiates. He works his way up top. Gucci accommodates that and works his way up top alongside Jonathan Hurst. Now coming into that power alley, looks like Gucci gives him some line. So again, different approaches there. Where Hurst was close, Gucci gives him some line and then tries to attack. Doesn't end up paying off, but does keep it consistently through that line. And there it is. And that's oh, look at that. So 2 and 1.
Yeah.
So here we go. Brandon Sorensen out front, Rudy Hansen in that S chassis chasing him down. Here goes Brandon Sorensen, and Brandon initiates. Rudy back there a bit. You can see him lurking his way up into the shadows into that first outside zone. Pretty textbook for both the drivers. You can see Rudy giving himself some room. Good transition. Was that too early? No, it's not. He worked that really, really well. Thought it was going to maybe be on Brandon exceeds that. Not one, but it could potentially be 2 tires from Brandon Sorensen. Here we go. Rudy Hansen now got the clean air here, and we are getting through this top 32 pretty expeditiously as Rudy now with the clean air. Oh boy, oh, we got wall. We got contact. And Rudy continues on. Definitely want to see how this pans out. We'll take a look overall, make sure Brandon is okay. Rudy continues on, but want to see what the judges think overall.
Doesn't look too bad, and then gets into the wall, then taps Brandon. Rudy hits the wall a couple of times, able to power out of it. It's very, you would think you want to kind of slow down and get out of the wall, but really adding power to try and shoot yourself off the wall is what you need to do. That's what Brandon wasn't able to do, but Rudy could. So there was contact there. It looked like Rudy was already into the wall, bounce back, hit Brandon.
Yep, here we go. So slide him left once and twice and 3 times. Brandon Sorensen gets the victory. But the Permatex, GT Radial, BMW, Dylan the Dozer Hughes going against Jack Shanahan from Ireland. Dylan Hughes sticks it to the wall. Well done by, and look at Shanahan. He's had a lot of turns on this track. The both BMW battle, the All-American Dylan Hughes going against Shanahan. Comes into that smoke line. Again, that right-hand drive versus left-hand drive. Dylan Hughes, textbook lead run. Really well done by Dylan the Dozer Hughes. Charlie Puckett. All right, well, Jack Shanahan, we'll see as he gets the cleaner. I'm expecting him to put down a heater of a run. He looked a bit frantic in that chase position. This is where the confidence grows for Shanahan, and there it is. Dylan Hughes, did he expect that? Now coming down into that power alley, Dylan Hughes gives himself some room. Watch him lunge forward because he knows this track. You got to think this is Shanahan. They don't have a lot of banked courses in Ireland or in Drift Masters, and there he goes. Dylan Hughes into that second outside zone. But basically, you know, because the seating brackets, and there it is. Dylan Hughes gets the win unanimously. Very aggressive because, like you said, you know what you get when you're going against a champion. No back, he's going to try to literally no back down. Here we go, Frederick Osbo, good angle from him, and that Rockstar Energy Toyota GR Supra coming down, massive angle from him. He talked about, again, those Kenda tires, and he was talking about the advantage. People talk about the rears, but he was talking about the fronts. Look at Novak. Yes, sir. Yeah, Nick Novak. So expect a good lead run from Nick Novak. Frederick Osbo, a robot when it comes to chasing. And like he said, those there's an all Kenda tires battle. Here goes Novak initiating. Osbo has to come out of it. Novak taps that wall, disrupts the car, stays in it. So here goes Osbo now coming into that. Oh, we got a DB. That back left of Novak, he stays in it, he shoots off. And there goes Novak. We are dragging wheel, dragging GoPro, and dragging bumper.
Things can get missed, but yeah, Nick Novak a little bit late to get up to the wall, and then Frederick just has to try and, cut.
Yeah, that was exciting. Put that in the highlight reel. Nick Novak, hold your head high, great attitude. So have a tempered approach. He knows he's going against Jeff, who has a bit more aggressive style. Like when you back off a little bit, that's when you make mistakes, and I feel like Jeff needs to go 110%, and they're right to the wall. Good look at minimal corrections, if any at all, from those front wheels. Look at that line. No corrections. That was just right on the proper line. That shows the commitment from Jeff Jones out front. And you can see Daniel Stuckey. So he does exceed just a touch, a couple treads, and now brings it back in that second outside zone. And Jeff Jones, we'll see how the outcome is. And now Daniel Stuckey initiates. Good angle from him. Jeff Jones tucks in. Daniel Stuckey high. Jeff, you can see him slowly working his way. Then Stuckey, he goes wide. Keeps it out there a little bit. We've seen that from a few drivers there. Jeff Jones takes out that inside clip. Daniel Stuckey exceeds. So just
get our decision here.
Yeah, and even the little corrections that Daniel make.
He's got good notes. Got a great spotter.
Hiro Manoa, the young buck, the youngest ever to form the drift podium. And Dmitry Brutsky, speaking of young buck, his son, his spotter in his head. Hiro Manoa dials it in. A Juku Racing Jerry Yang GT Radio 86. Dmitry Brutsky, he does have good proximity. He needs to drop back just a little bit and show that control. Now it comes past that inside clip on the second in the power alley. Look at this. I mean, this is really good. Tempered approach, showing he has the car control. Never settle.
Never settle.
And you gotta, Hiro Manoa, we're just kind of glancing over, but this dude is on a tear just at 2 years. I mean, he is on a championship level tear, given all his, just his expedience of learning. FD Japan, here he is in FD in the States, and look at Brutsky out front. Like you said, just given all of the downfalls, and he rises. Here goes Hiro Manoa. Brutsky does exceed it just a little bit. He gets on in there. Hiro Manoa applies the pressure. Yes, sir. And here we go. Slide him left for Hiro, right for Brutsky, and Hiro Manoa gets the win. Connor Shanahan, Daigo Saito, new guard, old guard, regardless, one of them is moving on. Who is moving on to go against Hiro Manoa? Is it going to be another Jerry Yang vehicle? Daigo Saito. Shanahan initiates in that Red Bull vehicle, GT Radio. Both these guys on GT Radio, a lot of GT Radio shrouded vehicles coming down into that first inside clip. Daigo Saito does have a minimal correction there, bathing in smoke into that last and second outside zone. Connor Shanahan and Daigo Saito tucks in. Daigo's the other legend that's trying to get out of seating. So again, FD Japan, FD Asia. I mean, Daigo is one of the best in the biz. Just needs to find that sweet spot. Again, that formula, not Formula Drift, or is it? Here we go into that first inside clip, the power alley. Here goes Daigo Saito. Again, took a hard hit. Him and his team said the car is back up and running, should be dialed. And yeah, if there were any issues, definitely not apparent here. And Shanahan gets the win. Oh, look at that again. So percentage-wise, that Odie will get the win, but Andy Haley would love to prove him wrong. Here we go. Odie Bakshi, field suspension, GT Radio S chassis. Andy Haley lacking the angle. You can see him trying to get closer here. Odie, boom, right on it. And now comes down into that power alley. Andy Haley, the wrong side of where he needs to be. The Drift Wizard, Evo AutoWorks BMW shuts it down. Odie Bakshi continues on through the entirety of the course. I mean, textbook. That is a hard act to follow, Odie Bakshi. Here we go, Andy Haley out front, Evo AutoWorks BMW, great attitude, but wants to put down some great angle in front of Odie Bakshi. Andy Haley initiates into the bend. You can see him riding just on the outside and then throws it into that outside zone box. Now dragging bumper into the power alley, drops it down, and there's that back bumper that we were talking about. Looked like that was what he was zip tying there at the start. Matsopa now into that second outside zone. I think Andy did a decent job.
For Andy from the first run.
Yeah, pretty cut and dry, and looks like Andy Haley, unfortunately, will be parking the car for the weekend. But go.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Learned a lot from Odie. I mean, suspension matters. You're going to pick things up through osmosis.
Simon Olsen leading in that Mark V Toyota Supra, initiates Ben Hobson back there quite a bit. Maybe give himself too much. Look at that left foot brake there from Simon Olsen. That front right coming to a halt. Now coming back into that power alley, transitioning through in that second. See a quick little junt into that second outside zone from Simon. And looks like Ben is just progressively gaining that ground in that chase position. Yeah, I think it's great to see Simon take all that knowledge, like you said, by osmosis. Great word there. Ben Hobson initiates Pennzoil Mustang RTR Spec 5. Whoa, man! Snaps into it, did not pay off. Now, he did salvage that. That could have easily gone south, literally down the course, but it does grip up. He works it back up. Tried to go for the gangster initiation, and now Ben Hobson, and he goes and overshoots it. Going to that second outside zone, Simon Olsen. He's front row in quite a fireworks show.
Yeah, not good lead, not good chase.
And we haven't seen that initiation from Ben even in practice. So that second to last battle here in a Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. Turk wants to make it rain. Here we go into that first outside zone. Ryan Turk puts it in, very settled, very calm. Derek Madison tucks in about a car length behind into that first inside clip. Turk, great angle. Derek Madison drops back. Looks like Turk went out a little bit, brought it back in, reeled it in, and you can see him, again, just dancing on that razor's edge. Does exceed a little bit, but we said with Ben Hobson, didn't see that initiation, but you know, I don't know if that was the time and the place to do it. So here we go. What's going on here? So Derek Madison, Ryan Turk off the start. And was that so taking a look at this, Derek Madison continues on through the course. Was that a restart, or did Ryan Turk have a glitch and he's not 100? We're going to have to run that back and just confirm. Is that good to go? And Ryan Turk crawling his way through, and Derek Madison could get the victory here.
A little bit of luck, and we know that here.
Yeah, that is just such an unfortunate turn of events. You saw the frustration, pounding the steer wheel. Our final battle of our Rockstar Energy Drink Top 32. The NOS Energy Drink Nismo All New Z initiates into the bank. Here comes Federico Sharifo, Forsberg, slingshots out into that first outside zone. Federico lower on the bank. Chris dials it in on that power alley inside clip 1 and 2, ticking the boxes literally with those front tires. Now coming to that second outside zone, Forsberg rides the line. So here we go, Federico Sharifo will lead, Chris Forsberg giving chase. Now here comes Federico in that Pennzoil Ferrari. He initiates into that outside zone, chasing him down. Again, you got to think with Fetty kind of low on that bank. Chris Forsberg, again, is he celebrating just yet with some Neth vodka and NOS Energy Drink? And there he goes, drops into formation, into that second outside zone, and Fetty crawls his way through that second outside zone. Forsberg dials it in. All right, here we go. Chris Forsberg, Federico Sharifo, slide him left unanimously. Chris Forsberg gets the win. Wow.
Nuts.
Wow. Nuts. Again, the first ever 4-time champion. You are in the presence of greatness right here. James the Machine Dean initiates into the bank. There he goes, initiating that first outside zone. The sun is set, drop behind the bank. Boom, sun, never heard of her. Here we go. James the Machine Dean in that first outside zone. Drops down to that first inside clip into the power alley. Good transition. Snappy right to angle by James the Machine Dean. RCP slides in that chase. James Dean out there, no problem for him. Set it, forget it, puts it right into the crease. The endorphins going through your body and the adrenaline, I have to attribute it to that, but now he's got the clean air. But you got James Dean in your rear view mirror. Look at that, Rome initiates, tight. And look at James, not backing down. He looked like he delayed it a little bit, but now coming down to this first inside clip, a little tap of the brakes there from RCP. But here comes James the Machine Dean. Is RCP gonna take down James Dean? Look at Rome Charpentier diving in, well done by RCP up front. James a little delayed. Is it RCP or is it James Dean? Rome gets the win.
Wow.
RCP takes down the giant that is James the Machine Dean. Hansel, I know he's watching. Hansel from Lean Customs and that Borla exhaust Heatwave Lean Customs. Corvette initiating almost simultaneously, dragging the wall. Yes, sir. Second battle, top 16, and these guys are showing up. Dancing a little bit with that course's edge into that second inside clip. Goes Matt Field, Adam LZ, you said it. We got the bad run out of the way, and now we're going to rise to the occasion. Matt Field right there on that line, Adam LZ in tow, and this is what I expected. Leaving that start line, Matt Field in tow. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going against RCP? Yo, are you kidding me? That looked like they had contact, but I think you could basically put a piece of paper in between them. That was so tight there. Here we go, Joe. Oh, we got a bump. We got a bump. It looked like Matt Field might have been a little too aggressive. Impeded on the transition of Adam LZ going into that second and final outside zone. Driving into the door.
Really interesting.
You said there was a bobbled inside clip, or did Matt put his nose in there and it got in the way of slide him left for Field, right for Adam LZ, and Matt Field gets 1, a 2, and a 3. Competition. Here we go. Dominican's finest. He's got a lot of fans cheering him on. That is Jonathan Castro going against Kenshiro Gushi in an all Toyota battle, all on Kenda tires. Here we go. Jonathan Castro out front. Both these guys in Toyota GR86s. Toyota flying the flag. Look at Jonathan Castro. Great settled angle there in that first outside zone. What a season Castro's been having. Ticks the boxes. A 1, a 2, well done here. Count Chocula going into that last outside zone, and look at Gushi. He drops into formation. A straightforward track like this, but I think it really shows and highlights how great you can be, or just those little minimal mistakes. Here we go. Now Ken Gushi out front. Castro drops into formation. Looks like he has to take a little bit out of it. Gushi, we thought he was going to be a little bit higher. He works his way up top, up that bank. Jonathan Castro now coming down into that inside clip. In that smoke trail, he dives in, both of them taking out that second inside clip. Here goes Kenshiro Gushi, exceeds it just a little bit, but then finds his sweet spot there in the crease and brings it across the finish line. But ideally, you have momentum all the way through. One more time and a one more time. And look at that, Castro. I don't know where they went. And then where are my Ken Gushi fans at? Make some noise. Here we go. Jonathan Castro, Kenshiro Gushi into this first outside zone. Castro initiates. Good proximity here from Ken Gushi. Looks like Castro straightforward, nothing too fancy. Didn't want to throw it into the wall, risk it for the biscuit. Goes into that second inside clip. Castro, you see Gushi nudge it over just a little bit into that second outside zone. There it is. There goes Ken Gushi as I tap Jacob right here like we're doing tandem in the box. Castro will give chase. Now coming through that start chicane. Here comes Kenshiro Gushi. Doctor! Yes, sir! What? How they did not hit is beyond me. I had no idea it was going to be a magic show. Where's the rabbit out of the hat? It might be at the finish line. Yes, sir! We got bang! We got thrashing! Gushi gets punted out of the way. Castro. Holy cow, looks like Gushi straightens out. Don't know if he got affected, but make some noise for Gushi and Castro. So that would mean that Jonathan Castro gets the win. Using that Permatex BMW. Here we go. Sorensen will lead. Dylan Hughes giving chase. Sorensen initiates into that bank. You see Dylan Hughes start out a little bit lower. He straightens out. He compromises some angle to get that proximity. Now coming into that power alley. Now transitioning into that second inside clip. So again, you got LS versus 2J. Oh, and Brandon Sorensen really goes outside of the course, but look at Dylan.
Frame tools out there, Jackson. So a lot of work.
All right, alternating the order here. Dylan Hughes out front gets the clean air. Brandon Sorensen, like you said, things were disconnected. Things are, again, oh, wow, look at this. Brandon Sorensen grinding in the door of Dylan Hughes. Dylan stays in it. Brandon very aggressive on the chase, allows some space and jumps back in. Well done on the inside clip, too, by Hughes and Sorensen. Sorensen, if he had any issues, they definitely went out the window. But
so it's really tough.
All right, Brandon Sorensen or Dylan Hughes looks like he gets, oh, look at this. One vote for Brandon, and Brandon Sorensen 2-1. Frederick could get a jump on James Dean. Here we go. Frederick Osbo leading, initiating big, wide sweep into that first outside zone. Very dramatic. Daniel Stuckey back there quite a bit. Now coming down into that transition in that first inner clip. Now transitioning into the second. Daniel Stuckey back there quite a bit. Now coming to that second outside zone. Stuckey outside of the second zone, not able to catch up. There is a car distance between Frederick Osbo and Daniel Stuckey.
I've got a great team. They'll repair it. We'll find a way to fix it. I'm just going to throw it into the wall as hard as I can.
Well, hopefully he heard you, because here we go. Again, very fluid, very safe. Now he's low on the bank. As you said, don't know what the condition of the car is, but I mean, this is, you always talk about the lightest car, you know, all the built, the this, the that, and right now he's put down a decent line. Frederick Osbo, I think, has given himself a little bit of room here, and then drops into formation, showing a little bit of dominance here towards the end, establishing dominance with that big Toyota GR Supra. Let's take a look and slide him left for Frederick Osbo, gets the win. Frederick running, so many different setups, but right now, what works? Well, we'll find out. Hero Manoa, Connor Shanahan. Hero Manoa across the nose of the Irish driver. Connor Shanahan. We'll get another dynamic initiation. Shanahan banging the door of the 15-year-old. Coming down into this inside clip. Oh, Connor Shanahan looked like he had to pedal back, but look, he is driving him, potentially pushing it around. Hero Manoa, Shanahan. Again, both of them excelling. The green light was on. Door banging, he's getting there on Sims, but right now Connor Shanahan, and hey, Hero had a great lead run, gave Connor that opportunity to bang doors, and look, Hero's gonna give it back. Yes, sir! And Hero gives it back to Shanahan. He's right there, but doesn't look like he's kind of kind with it. And now transitioning to that second outside zone. Here goes Hero. I'm sure he's telling him, give it to him. And you saw Connor up on that bank. Yo! Come on, make some noise for Shanahan and Manoa.
I think that's what we saw here.
Slide him left for Manoa or right for Shanahan, and Hero Manoa gets the win. Formula Drift driver, Simon Olsen. Who's the spotter now?
I'm not sure. He's changed that a couple of now.
There we go. Here we go. Odie Bakshi's leading field suspension. GT Radio S15. He initiates. Odie 6 to the wall. Simon Olsen, a little delayed. Failure to launch there. Odie Bakshi's little punch kick attitude there. You saw, wasn't smooth. Simon Olsen, very shallow transition. Shallow at all the angle. Looks like he might not be 100%. Might get a little Ricola here. Maybe got a cough. Smooth that thing out. Let's see what Simon Olsen could do out front. He's got the clean air, mildly smoky air. Simon Olsen comes down the line into that initiation. So there it is, Simon in the lead. He's still struggling, and that gives Odie an opportunity to have good proximity, because looks like Odie's got that horsepower on deck. He worked his, whoa, buddy! Odie Bakshi's lunges forward. That's not where he wanted to be, but maybe on that transition, the car just ripped up. But Simon, he found that sweet spot on that second outside zone, but he's like, yeah, goes looking over his shoulder, and that's it. There you go. And yeah, that's the way I was leaning. Odie Bakshi's gets the win. NOS energy drink throwing through the veins, the Net Vodka post-event. Here we go. Coilover Depot, S chassis of Derek Madison, straight line approach. Look at that, just bullish almost in that chase position. Forsberg lights it up with that VR powered. Alden Z comes down, boom, right into that inside clip, transition through the power alley and past it. Oh wow, takes out that clip, takes it home as a souvenir. A couple happy t-shirts for the kids, the minor 49er. More stable drone, here we go. D-Mad's out front, Coilover Depot, compressing on in. So Derek Madison initiate. Forsberg slides this side, has to back off here. Again, setting precedence. We want a good lead run in order to have that chase run. Now coming down, look at Forsberg right there, navigates on the inside of Derek Madison, finds that control, now slides into that second outside zone. A little bit of space in between them, but like I said, from the jump, Derek Madison, and just doesn't even look, it just does it, and boom, throws the ropes over and hooks it up. That's what Chris did. He landed that boat. Instead of the dark horse. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a rave is going on in this car right now. And then you got the black menacing Corvette of Matt, the Beast of the Bay Field. Here we go, Matt Field initiating that Borla exhaust heat wave lean customs Corvette. And look at Rome. This is a Rome we haven't seen this year. Just very aggressive. Jumps up on that second inside clip. Well done. Matt Field exceeds a little bit, but he knows he's got RCP right there. To have a good lead run, Matt Field, he's going to be aggressive here. Watch this. Because he knows he's going against Rome, and actually surprisingly he doesn't. I think he kind of tiptoed up to the side, and Rome Charpentier put the car in the right place. Here comes Matt Field down into that inside clip, now transitioning in a second. I'd like to see him bang doors. Matt Field gets a little disrupted in that second inside clip. Rome Charpentier, there we go. That's the bang that I was expecting there from Matt Field. No, I have a few thoughts here, and I agree with that.
Yeah, so
we got a clear start here. Matt Field will lead. Borla Exhaust, Heatwave, Lead Customs. Matt Field, a lot more aggressive on this run. He obviously listened as Spotter got to his headset. Hang it out there, Matt. He punts that course indicator out of the way. RCP dives in, he straightens out and corrects. On the second inside clip, that was an independent, unfortunate mistake. You saw him hung it out there, and unfortunately it snaps back into that second inside clip. Keep it together.
yeah.
What do you got?
Just looked like the back wheel there on Matt Field just did something kind of strange.
Okay, well, hopefully not, but we'll see. Rome Charpentier initiates big angle there from RCP. You got to think about tire attrition too. Did that play a role in Brandon Sorensen spinning? You know, here we are, very porous surface, very aggressive transitioning now through that inside clip. RCP into that second outside zone. Matt Field give him just enough room, and now there it is. Look at that. Saw a little hand out the window from RCP. Don't know exactly what was transcribed there. Yeah, that's going to be enough, unfortunately, for RCP. He is going to be out. Matt Field gets the win. Here we go, Castro and Sorensen. Castro initiating that Methyl Dom Toyota GR86. The tinted tires go round, up high on the bank. Sorensen tucks in. Well done. Look at the focus of Sorensen. You see in that cockpit the white helmet glowing into the inside clip. Goes both of them in the power alley. Goes Castro, puts it right there. Brandon Sorensen nudging it over and nudging the door of Castro. Pushing him around just a little bit. Castro exceeds a little bit, but brings it back. Brandon Sorensen, United States Air Force, BMW out front. Headlights are on, the lights are on, good initiation. Castro, where you at, bud? Castro late failure to launch, but now he drops into formation. The crowd erupts for Castro, Dominican's finest. Now comes Sorensen snaps, and and the crowd explodes.
Took the time to kind of allow Brandon to get sorted before he fell into the pocket, but Brandon on that transition just looks like he overcooks it.
What's going on there? And there it is. Castro gets the win, going to the Final Four. Like a veteran. So here we go. Osmo will lead, Manoa giving chase across the nose of that GR86. Osmo goes in, and now Frederick Osmo, big angle, he turns it up, man. He is not letting this 15-year-old bully him around at all. Transitioning in that second inside clip. Hero drops back in. Well done by Hero Manoa. Hero again, the three-time champ. Flames are shooting at the backside of Frederick Osmo. The tire fire is on. Can't hold within two battles. That might have played a role, again, in Brandon Sorensen spinning out. Hero Manoa in the lead position, the Drugu Racing, 86. Look at Frederick sliding it back, yanking that handbrake, massaging it back there. Hero Manoa, big angle, now coming off into that inside clip. Let's see if Hero the veteran can drop in. Yes, he does. Into that second inside clip, Hero Manoa. Can he play spoiler in our current points leader? And Hero lights him up once again, crosses the finish line, and extinguishes them. A little flare, literally and figuratively. So judges review, slide him left for Freddie, right for Hero. Manoa gets the win. 15 years old, takes out our points leader. Odie will lead, Chris will give chase. Here goes Odie, that field suspension S chassis. Christopher Forsberg in that Nismo NOS Energy all new Z. Odie initiates high on the bank. Forsberg, you can see getting to the side of him now, coming into the inside clip, transitioning down. Both of them are absolutely ripping, flying in that second inside clip. Odie pulling away from Forsberg. Forsberg gets in that second outside zone. Odie, I mean, he is just a machine. Forsberg will lead in that all-new Z, coming down tip to tail. Forsberg and Bakshi. Forsberg initiates into that outside zone, little wall tap there. Forsberg throwing some more angle at it. You can see those Z's lights reflecting on the wall. Now that inside clip coming now through the power alley. Odie jumps back to the side of Forsberg into that second outside zone. Odie right there, bathing in the smoke. Forsberg goes up on the bank quite a bit. Now Odie Bakshi's right there. So final battle of the grade 8, and Odie joins the final 4. Send it here in Orlando. Jonathan Castro. See Matt Field, he is allowed to jump the light a little bit there, or no problem for him pacing. Jonathan Castro, there goes Matt Field right to the side of the Methodon Toyota GR86 Mobile One Synthetics, rolling through the veins in that first inside clip. Great angle from Jonathan Castro. Matt Field jumps in on the inside, gets disrupted a little bit, now into that second outside zone. Castro, he is just setting course. He is setting sail on this potential podium, his first ever podium for Castro. Lucky breaks, but I'll tell you what, Castro's got himself here.
Yeah.
He's been driving really, really well. Matt Field, he had that one more time. Here he goes, push comes to shove, the beast in the bay. Warline, heat wave, lead custom, Corvette, rips into that first outside zone. Castro drops into formation just like that. Bitter batter, let's get at her. Matt Field out front, inside clip. Castro allows him to go in front of him on that inside clip. A little bit of distance here, that grip up, that side grip. The GT radio rips up in that second outside zone. You saw Matt Field go up and exceed a little bit. Hit him left for Castro, right for Field, one more time, and Jonathan Castro. Wow. It's on the podium. So here we go. Castro and Field. Castro out front. Methodon Toyota GR86 initiates. He's on those Cannon tires. He initiates. He throws it in. Matt Field tucks in nicely. Coming down on that bank into the inside clip. Perfect. Right on it. Matt Field exceeds a little bit. He is aggressive. Is that the move? We got rubbing. We got rubber on rubber crime into that second outside zone. But Castro was unfazed. Matt Field, you can barely see him across the Coliseum. That is OSW. Matt Field initiates. Castro tucks in nicely. Once again, tit for tat. Matt Field high on the bank, coming down into that inside clip. Smashing down. Pass and inside clip number 2. Formation form. Pulling away as Matt Field. He does exceed it a little bit. Goes on that line. Castro kicks back. Takes a tempered approach. Here we go. Slide him left for Castro. Right for Matt Field. Castro gets the win! Castro gets his first Formula Drift podium. Here we go. Odie Bakshi's Hiro Manoa. Be sure to join us at the podium ceremony. Who's going to be on it? Odie Bakshi's Hiro Manoa? TBD. Odie Bakshi's gangster angle. He talked about, Justin Pollock, his wife in his ear pushing him, and now Hiro Manoa pushing him around, but no, he's not. He is back there. And Odie Bakshi's in that second outside zone. Just as I say that, Hiro, he reels him in. As far as podium, because again, the loser respects, and again, the highest qualifying loser gets third place. All right, here we go. Hiro Manoa initiates. But right now, it's all about the victor, Odie Bakshi's. Look at him, grinding in the door of that Ajuga Racing 86. Into that inside clip. Transitioning into the second. Performing surgery. Hiro pulls away. Big angle from Hiro Manoa. And with angle, he's got that grip. He's got the grip and he's sliding it sideways. And slide him left, slide him right. Hiro Manoa gets the win. Jonathan Castro with, again, turn on your lights. Film this. Tag us. Send it! Jonathan Castro, Methodon Toyota GR86. Initiating into that big bank. Jonathan Castro right there, in it, buried in it. Here's a shovel, can you dig it? Coming down into the power alley. Goes Castro, 1 and a 2, ticking the boxes. Hiro Manoa tucked in, finding that special secret sauce. The 15-year-old brings it across, the tire fire is on, and brings it on home. On 3, send it. 1, 2, 3, send it! Here we go. Arroyo Manoa, Jonathan Castro. Who's coming out on top? Round 3, the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Manoa initiates. Castro works his way up to the top. Not as close. Manoa settled in. Right there. Bathing in the smoke is Castro. Tire fire early on. Transitions into the second inside clip. Manoa finding that side grip. Ripping on home. He is on fire literally and figuratively. and potentially one step and closer to that win here in Orlando. Wow. Finishing third place here at round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship in his field suspension GT Radial S chassis, Odi Bakshis. And now your winner here at round 3. It was a hard-fought battle. From Japan, Hiroya Manoa gets the win. Hiro Manoa gets the win, and Jonathan Castro gets second place for his first ever Formula Drift podium. Congratulations to Hiro Manoa. Jonathan Castro gets his first ever podium. Round of applause for Jonathan Castro, Dominican's finest. And at 15 years old, multiple wins now under his belt. Let's take a look at those current standings, but what an amazing event. Your closing thoughts?
Yeah, just so happy to be a part of this, that I was here with everybody to get to see history being made, and look at Manoa now up in third. Castro tied with him in fourth, and Odi Bakshi's tied as well.
Thank you to all the fans in the building or online around the globe. Again, thank you on behalf of the whole Formula Drift staff, team, drivers, crew, sponsors, everybody. We'll see you in New Jersey. The Garden State will play host to round 4 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. On behalf of Lorette, on behalf of Jacob, I'm Jared Deanda. We'll see you online and we'll see you in our time. Send it, Formula Drift Nation.